What's up, guys? Owen here, back with another Hand Productions video. Today, we're going to be doing the first edition of the Sports Weekend Roundup, where pretty much we just go over what happened with sports over the weekend. So, pretty much nothing else has to be said, so let's get started. The first major news that happened this weekend, right on Saturday night, was LeBron hitting 40,000 points. As you can see, James drove past Michael Porter Jr. and hit a layup with 10:39 left in the second quarter against the Denver Nuggets for the historic basket. And it's really cool. I don't watch the NBA that much, but I know that the Lakers aren't doing well. And I know they lost this game, so it's a cool milestone to hit. They didn't win the game. But again, records are meant to be broken. It's cool. Even though this isn't a record, I mean, he's the first player to ever hit 40K. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see, the game of basketball, I guess, breaking records now. Because as you can see, most of these guys in the points leaders were all from, not really this era that LeBron's playing in. The only guy is really Kobe, who stopped playing in like 2017. But yeah, so here's LeBron's points. These aren't updated because he did play last night, but he has, I think, 1,476 game plays now. So by the time he reaches Kareem's, games, he'll probably have 41,000 by then, which is insane. Unless he retires after this year, which I doubt he'll do since he probably wants to play with Bronny. Yeah, so congrats LeBron, and hopefully he reaches 41, 42K because it'll be cool to see if anyone in the future can match, this historic run that LeBron's been doing. Another scoring record that, was broken or pretty much what happened was Caitlin Clark beating Pete Maravich's mark, which is, 3,667 points on Sunday against Ohio State. She hit 2 free throws to pass, her mark, and she's the leader in NCAA points of all time, men and women's basketball, and it's awesome because records are meant to be broken. But yeah, I mean, there's really all to say. I mean, she's an amazing basketball player. She's gonna be number one. In the I think the WNBA, yeah, WNBA for a while, number one player, number one pick. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see like basketball, records being broken, like LeBron, breaking the scoring record and then getting 40K, and then Caitlin Clark beating the scoring record for the NCAA. It's awesome because records meant to be broken, and these next generation of basketball players, are gonna be like really good, especially like Caitlin Clark and stuff. But even like people looking up to like LeBron and stuff, all those guys are gonna be, pretty good. So yeah, hopefully she does really well, in her next few games and in the tournament, and hopefully she does really well with the rest of her career and in the WNBA. Another major sports, piece of news that happened in the NFL, my favorite sport, my favorite league, football, was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers re-signing five-time Pro Bowler Mike Evans to a 2-year, $52 million contract that includes $35 million guaranteed. So no matter what, they're pretty much giving him $17.5 million a year. So that's pretty crazy, in my opinion. I like Mike Evans. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer already. But at the same time, it's a lot of money for a guy who's 31 years old, and I don't hate the move. I think it's a good move, and I think it'll probably, hopefully, bring Baker back for them. But at the same time, that's just a lot of money. I don't know if it's worth it. But hey, again, like I said, he's a Hall of Famer, so whatever they want to do, I guess I think he'll do really well for a few more years. He can finally be a buck for life, as you can see, and his agent said, which averages 26 million per season, is the largest for a wide receiver this old on his third contract. So he's already gone through third contracts, and this is, the largest for this old wide receiver. And he's not that old. I mean, he's 31, which isn't that old, but for wide receivers, I mean, that's usually when they get past, their glory days. But I still think he can put up consistently good numbers, and I think it's good because even if they get rid of Baker, they'll put a young quarterback in with, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and with a good head coach, I think. So overall, I would give this deal probably a 8 out of 10 because a little too much money, but I think no matter what they do, I think it'll work out perfectly for them. So yeah, congrats to Mike Evans for getting paid, and hopefully the Bucks can replicate their success because honestly, I like the Bucks. I like Baker. So yeah. So hopefully they do well next season. Hopefully Mike Evans, has another 1,000-yard season. Another piece of news that happened in the contract world of the NFL was the Kansas City Chiefs placing the non-exclusive franchise tag on quarterback L'Jarius Sneed. It's non-exclusive, which means he can talk with other teams, and then the teams can work out a trade with the Chiefs. And they're saying it's a real possibility. As you can see, the source stressed to Jeremy Fowler that a trade is very much on the table. And franchise tags end today at 4. So yeah, I think it's pretty good because either way, worst case scenario for the Chiefs, they trade him and they get some compensation back. Best case scenario, he stays a year, he does really well, and they re-sign him or trade him the next year. So either way, this is a good move for the Chiefs. Good news for Snead as well because he's gonna get paid good money, as you can see. pretty much 20 million guaranteed if he stays in the franchise tag. And if he goes somewhere else, he'll probably get paid more because the Chiefs don't have that much in franchise or that much in cap space right now. And the franchise tag is not the biggest, cornerback can earn by far. So yeah, hopefully this works out for both sides because you always want to see both sides in like a something like this work out. So hopefully it goes well for Snead and hopefully it goes well for the Chiefs. Another thing that started and ending during this weekend was the NFL Combine, and as you can see, you got the 40 times up here. And Xavier Worthy ran a 4.2140, which is the NFL record. 0.01 seconds, less than the record. The whole record was 4.22 set by John Ross. And insane. Like, these guys did really well. As you can see, Nate Wiggins and Quinyon Mitchell, I think I'm pronouncing that right, both had really good his 40s. This guy's gonna be a beast. He raised draft stock a ton. He's just like Sauce Gardner because he comes out of like a not a huge conference like the MAC conference. He's gonna be really well. He's gonna do really well in any team. I think the best team for him is, the Eagles or someone who needs a cornerback. And Nate Wiggins also, he's going first round. He's really good also. As you can see, Brian Thomas Jr. also had a great 40, along with Isaac Durendo. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. Maybe I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know. But yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. 4.33. Isaac Durendo 4.33. Adonai Mitchell 4.34. The Camryon Richardson 4.34. And yeah, so these guys did really well. Hopefully, they keep up this in the league because this is really impressive. The combine went really well, in my opinion. I think all those guys that went did really well. So hopefully these dudes can keep their success, and hopefully Brian Thomas Jr., the guy with the fourth best 40 time, can come to Bills because he's an amazing wide receiver. He's gonna be really good. He's just like, in my opinion, Justin Jefferson. I think he's really good. I think he's can be as good as him. So yeah, hopefully these guys do well in the NFL, and hopefully Bills can get Brian Thomas Jr. because again, he's gonna be a stud. All these dudes are gonna be awesome. So yeah, hopefully these guys have success in their career. The final major thing that happened in the sports world this weekend was the Gazaya versus Rosenstreich fight card. And honestly, it was a bit of a disappointment because the rest of the fight card was really good. I thought they were doing like really well with these fights. It was looking like it was going to be a really good main event, and it was looking decent. I mean, Gazayev was beating him up like I thought, but then Rosenstreich started to come back, and apparently Gazayev got hurt in like the third, second round, and he ended up actually like quitting in between the fourth and fifth rounds, or right at the start of the fifth round. And it's not a good look for the UFC because this is the main event. It's supposed to be the best fight. This is supposed to be a rising star, and he pretty much just quit. I picked Gaziev to win, but I wanted Rosenstreich to win, and it's kind of a win-lose for me because again, I wanted Rosenstreich to win. I like him, but I'm now 0-3 when predicting main events, which means that if I pick this one guy, then go and pick the other guy because I am doing bad so far my picks. But yeah, so I would say a bit of a disappointment. A lot of people are upset. Some people are even calling it an embarrassment to, I won't say to the sport, but it's just, it's crappy seeing like a main event, you know, ESPN Plus just, kind of fail like that, especially between heavyweights. Like, this should have been a much better fight. But yeah, so hopefully next week, better fight card, UFC 299, an amazing card. Also Duke UNC that same day. So hopefully next weekend's UFC, next weekend's sports as a whole are better because this week was good. But again, I think this next week, I think March 9th is the day that all that stuff's going on. I think next week's gonna be one of the best weeks for sports. This whole year. What's up, guys? Owen here. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Next weekend's sports weekend, or next week's, I should say, sports weekend roundup should be much better because I thought this weekend was good. Next week, awesome. Arnold Palmer Invitational. UFC 299, O'Malley versus Vera, like one of the most fun fighters versus Vera. You got Duke UNC. You probably got many other games because it's pretty much the final Saturday of the regular season. It's gonna be awesome next week for the sports weekend roundup, and just even this week, sports as a whole, really awesome. And with free agency starting next Monday, it's gonna be a fun next few weeks in sports. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you tomorrow for the next Ham Productions video.